Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Barry Park for what could be the last game of the Lynn City Little League Tournament. Westland undefeated 2-0, Eastland 1-1. If Westland wins, they are the 2023 champions. If Eastland wins, there'll be one more game to determine the champion. Westland defeated Eastland very controversially, I might add. He only had 8 players. And they had a discussion with umpire and the coaches and guys that run the leagues, and everybody agreed we'll play the game. So they played the game, and Westland won with their 8 players in the bottom of the 6th. And then late at night, somebody from Eastland was trying to get it overturned and try to make it a forfeit. And they said no, after everybody agreed, the game counted. So when I did the last game, the losers bracket final, it was Eastland against Pine Hill. During the telecast, I said the winner of this game has to play Westland and beat them twice, and Westland will be out beating the bushes to make sure they have 9 players. Well, they only have 9, they have 10. Eastland lost a player. One of their players went on vacation. So they have 11. Everybody hits. Anybody that's in uniform has to get an at bat. Adrian Peterson is leading it off against Asiel Rodriguez. And I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Asiel Rodriguez. It's going to be Rodriguez against Rodriguez. Manny Rodriguez is the pitcher for Westland. Swing and a miss. A tip of the hat to everybody who got involved in this tournament, especially the Westland people, because they're hosting it. They did a great job getting the fields in shape with all the rains, and they had, it's the 30th of July. The first game was played on the 22nd. Then we had a monsoon. Then we had thunderstorms. And we're finally getting to play, and the weather's finally getting to be decent. So they did an outstanding job keeping everything going. Popped up. Quintana. A name I know very, very well. Looking over at his father and mother sitting over in the stands next to me. I did all the Quintana games on TV. So the pop-up goes to the first baseman for the first out. Devon Bursey, the center fielder. It's a shame there's only 3 teams. There's 4 leagues in the city, but Wyoming chooses not to play. I wish I knew why. They're depriving their kids of a great opportunity, especially if Wyoming. If you win this tournament, it's a thing you never forget. It's a life experience. But to play in it is also a great experience. And for no reason other than just choose not to play, it's kind of silly. The team that wins the different leagues represents their league in this tournament. And you should feel very good representing your team. Mark Posty, the second baseman, gets it over to Quintana. Quintana gets the first 2 putouts. 2 up, 2 down in the first. Manny Rodriguez, the pitcher, will be the hitter. Strange when I go back. I coached Little League for a while with my father and Bart Conlon's father, Pat Conlon just celebrated 50 years of his state championship baseball team. He was a coach. He was the head guy at Lynn Tech. He was our catcher back then. He was a very good one. Hit in the right field for a base hit. So Rodriguez gets the first hit going the other way. That was the Central League that we coached in. That was the sixth league in the city. West Lynn had two. West Lynn had to give up their license because everybody fouled up. Cut it to 5, and then Central dropped out. And this past year or so, Lynn Shore dropped out. Hit foul back and out of play. This is Mackay Kirk, the left fielder. Missing inside. That one bounces in for ball 4. So after 2 quick outs, a hit and a walk. Put 2 on for West Lynn here in the top of the first. Elian Rodriguez, the shortstop, will be the hitter. In for a strike. They throw it away. And West Lynn's going to score. Minnie Rodriguez, the pitcher. He waited for the ball to be thrown back to the pitcher. He went to third. When they threw it to third, they threw it away. It went out of play. And he scores. Anthony LaCava, the first baseman, is the hitter. Swing and a miss. Hit the third. They'll get the force at second. Nice play by Danny Chow. So West Lynn gets 2. They jump on top. Looked like an easy inning. With the first 2 easy outs. And then a base hit and a walk. And base running by Manny Rodriguez. He took off when the ball was thrown back to the pitcher, stealing third, and he threw the ball away. So Manny Rodriguez got himself a lead with his base running. Before he throws a pitch, he's already leading 2-0. For East Lynn, I didn't go through the lineup for West Lynn. I will when they get up, but playing for East Lynn, the batting order, Mark Posty, Juan Vasquez, Amari Quintana, Aseo Rodriguez, Yancel Prandis, Blake Beaupre, Danny Chow, Sultan Akanihi, Charlie Chan, Jake Chon, Manny Soto. Those are 11, and they'll bat. All 11 have to hit. West Lynn will answer with 10 players, and they'll all have to hit. And while I got a moment, Aiden Peterson, Devon Bursey, Manny Rodriguez, Makai Kirk, Alien Rodriguez, Anthony LaCava, Keelan Rivera, Joel Rosario, Aiden Neris, and Bella Desai. So West Lynn looking to win the tournament without an if necessary game, looking to win it going undefeated. They grab a 2-0 lead in the first inning. Mark Posty, the second baseman, will be the hitter. In for a strike. That one bounces in. Almost like he was aiming that pitch. Hit foul at home plate. Bounced it off his leg. Count goes 1-2 to East Lynn's second baseman. Has to duck out of the way of that one. And the count evens at 2. High and tight. So he was ahead of Posty. Now he's got to come with a pitch. I'll put him on. Hit to the mound. Can't play. He's going to be safe. Posty gets an infield hit. He hit the mound. Rodriguez tried to backhand it. He slipped and fell. And Posty will be safe with the infield hit. And it'll bring up Juan Vasquez to shortstop. In for a strike off the catcher. And down to second base. On the wild pitch is Posty. Down and away for a ball. Hit foul at home plate. One, two, the count. Low for a ball. The runner takes off, safe, but he went under the tag, and I just realized, first time in the tournament, we've got two umpires. The throw was there, but before he could put the tag down, Posty slid in safe. So he gets a stolen base. He's 60 feet away from getting East Lynn on the board. And the count goes full to Vasquez. And that's ball 4. And the runner out at second, but the run scores. They threw the runner out at second. He just kept going. Vasquez kept going, thinking they'd give him second base. So Posty scores. Vasquez is out. I'm not sure why he wanted to go. He's the tying running. Nobody out. Amari Quintana, the first baseman, will be the hitter. He's got a couple of big hits for East Lynn in their first 2 games. Swing and a miss. He's a big boy for 11 years old. I know. Family, father and uncle. He gets hit on the shoulder. So how big is that throw out at second base? If Vasquez stays at first, it's the bases loaded, nobody out. They did get a run in, but they lost a base runner. Isaiah Rodriguez, I hope I'm saying that correctly, the first name, he's the pitcher. High and tight for a ball, 2-0. That one goes to the backstop. The tying run will go to second base. Three and 0 the count. Pitcher against pitcher here. And it's ball 4. So they got the runner out that walked, but that's the runner was thrown out on the base pass is the only out. They got a hit, a walk, a hit batsman, and a walk. Runs at first and second with 1 out. Ansel Prentice did a very nice job behind the plate, especially in the really hot weather wearing all that equipment. He did a very nice job. He got a couple of big hits. Got a big hit yesterday that tied the game up. Hits it foul off the backstop. So Eastland trying to answer back. Westland got 2 in the inning. Eastland's got 1. They got first and second with 1 out. Hit into left field. What a play by the left fielder. What an outstanding, that's an ESPN highlight. McKay, Kirk, that looked like extra bases. It's going to probably be 2 runs, at least a double or a triple. He went to the line, reached across his body, picked it, rolled, made a tremendous play. Tremendous play. Took extra bases and a couple of RBI away from Prandis. What an outstanding play. That was going to go right down the line to the fence. 2 runs were easily going to score. This is Blake Beaupre. One of the extra hitters, they have 2. And that's strike 3. So thanks to that great play by Mackay Kirk in left field and throwing that runner out at second base to try to stretch, Eastland gets back in it, but they only get 1 with the 1 hit. We played an inning in this 2023 Lynn City Little League Championship Tournament. West Lynn 2, East Lynn 1. 6, 7, and 8 for West Lynn as we start the second inning. Kalen Rivera, the right fielder, leads off. In first strike. Waves at that pitch. The 1-2 pitch. Get a piece, fouled it off the backstop and stays alive. And we'll do it again at 1-2. Strike 3 call, good pitch. So the first out was a strikeout. First strikeout for Rodriguez. Joel Rosario, the third baseman, will be the hitter. In first strike. This is Asiel Rodriguez starting his second inning of work. Swing and a miss. Text under that one, it goes to the backstop. And it kind of goes to 1-2. Hit foul out of play. Down past first base. We'll do it again at 1-2. Strike 3 call. He took it like it was up and in, but he gets called out. So back-to-back strikeouts to start the second inning. They'll bring up Aiden Nerez to second baseman. in for a strike. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Did miss by much. Tough fish to take with 2 strikes. 1-2 the count to Rosario. Excuse me, to Neris. Hit foul back. And we'll do it again at 1-2. Backs away from that one and falls down way up and in. Probably just saw his life pass before him. We got our first deuce as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in inning number 2. Took it for ball 3, so Rodriguez was ahead on the count. Now he's got to come in with a pitch, put a base runner on. Hit foul again. Good at bat by Neris. He's hanging around. Fouled off a couple of pitches. Got the count to 3-2. He's making Rodriguez throw some pitches. And he ears himself a walk. Good at bat by the second baseman, Aiden Nerez. Again, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Bella Desai or Desai. He's the extra hitter, batting the number 10 hitter. Swing and a miss. In for a strike, quickly 0-2. That one bounces in. 1-2 the count. Hit the shot. Nice play by Vasquez over to Quintana. So the walk doesn't hurt. As Wesleyan is down in the second inning, and he's going to have a chance to get back in the game. 7, 8, and 9 for East Lynn in the bottom half of the second inning. They kind of ran themselves out of a pretty good inning. They had a hit, a walk. Unfortunately, the walk, we got the first, kept going, trying to get in scoring position at second base. They threw him out at second. The runner from third did score. But it could have been a very big inning because there was a hit pass and a walk to follow. But then the play of the tournament by the left fielder, Mackay Kirk. A line shot by Prandis just inside the left field line. And Mackay Kirk went over to his right, reached across his body, and picked the line shot. Turned it into an out. Would have been extra bases, a couple of runs, a much bigger inning. Instead, it's 2-1 West Lynn. Down the way for a ball. Danny Chow, third baseman, is the hitter. He ducked out of the way and hit the bat. So it was way inside. It was going to be 2-0. Instead, when he was ducking, it hit the bat, and it winds up being a strike. He winds up on the ground, and it's still a strike because it hit the bat going by. One of those unusual events. That one goes to the backstop. So instead of 3-0, it's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2. That one almost hit him again. That one did hit the bat. It went to the backstop. 3-2 the count. Big pitch coming up for both teams. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So he comes back and gets him. Back-to-back strikeouts. He struck out the last hitter in the first inning. Now he gets the first hitter in the second inning. And Sultan Akaniyi is the hitter, the left fielder for East Lynn. Low for a ball. Nice stop by Aiden Peterson behind the plate. Hit right back to the mound. Easy play. Rodriguez over to Quintana. 2 up, 2 down in the second inning. That's Quintana making a nice pick off the pop-up by Charlie Chan. So, first 1-2-3 inning by either pitcher goes to Manny Rodriguez of West Lynn. We've completed 2 in this Lynn City Series potential championship game if West Lynn wins. At the end of 2 complete innings, West Lynn 2, East Lynn 1. Top of the order for West Lynn, Aiden Peterson popped to the first baseman, leading off the ball game. Hit by the first baseman into right field. In with a double is Peterson. Solid shot down the right field line. He's in scoring position with nobody out for Devon Bursey, who grounded out second to first. His one trip. Yeah, we had one of the scorers, I think, for East Lynn coming out. I don't know, we had a question. Must have been answered because we're going back to baseball. So West Lynn trying to add to the 2-1 lead. They have a runner in second with nobody out. In for a strike. That one bounces off the catcher to the backstop. Peterson will go to third. So Peterson 60 feet away from getting West Lynn the 2-run lead back that they had in the first inning before Eastland cut it to 2-1. High and tight for a ball. And that's ball 4. So the first two hitters reach. First and third, nobody out. Manny Rodriguez, the pitcher, can help himself. He got a base hit and scored the first run. His base running, he waited for the catcher to throw the ball back to the pitcher, stole third. When they threw it over to try and get him, they threw it away and he scored the first run. In for a strike. So pitcher against pitcher here. They let Bercy go to second base with the runner at third, so it's second and third now with nobody out. And the count goes 3-1. And that's ball 4. So a double and back-to-back walks have loaded the bases for West Lynn with nobody out. Mackay Kirk walked and scored the second run in the first inning. And he made that tremendous play in left field that took extra bases and a couple of RBI away from Yancel Prandis. Followed by a strikeout. Eastland was limited to 1 run in the first inning when they looked like they were going to get right back in it. Hit foul back and out of play. We're in the top of the third. Potentially the Lynn City Championship, depending whether West Lynn can win or not. I think he said he swung at that, so it's 0-2. Tried to hold up and couldn't. Swing and a miss, that's a big strikeout. Elian Rodriguez. In for a strike. Ely is the shortstop. Throws right, bats left. High and away for a ball. They make the play at first. Quintana made the nice play. Solid shot. Quintana knocked it down. So Rodriguez is out, but he gets an RBI. But Quintana stopped that from going into the outfield, what could have been really serious. So it's second and third with 2 outs for Anthony LaCava, the first baseman. Nice stop by Prandis, the catcher. Keeps the runner at third. So the 2 walks hurt. They don't score, but they extend the inning. A nice defensive play by Quintana. Solid shot into right field for a base hit. 2 runs are going to score. LaCava with a big base hit. 2 out Lightning. Just inside the right field line. Gets the base hit. Knocks in 2. And all of a sudden it's 5-1. I think they have 4-1 on the board, but it should be 5-1. Now they changed it. In for a strike. Rivera was called on the strikes his first trip. High for a ball. So again, the walks hurt. Both walks score. That one goes to the backstop. LaCava moves over to third. Deuces Wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hit foul to the backstop. And we'll do it again at 2-2. Strike 3 called, so they're finally out of the inning. But not before Westland puts 3 on the board. They did it with 2 base hits. A big 2 out, 2 RBI single by LaCava. As we move in to the bottom of the third, Eastland's got their work cut out for them if they want to extend this tournament. It's now 5-1. Westland on top. That'll be 10, 11, and 1 for East Lynn. Signing the bottom of the third inning. We'll go back 1951. A mere 72 years ago was when Little League came into the city of Lynn. There were 2 leagues, East Lynn, West Lynn. And there was no city tournament. There was a Jimmy Fund game played at the baseball diamond at Frazier Field. And the reason I know is I was pitching for the Westland Tigers and I got to pitch the game at Frazier Field for Westland against Eastland. And that was strange because I lived in Eastland all my life. They fouled up my address and I wound up playing for the Westland Tigers. That was a great year for Little League. Eastland, Vinnie Jarvis, Jackie Meechan, George Lundstedt, George Kibbe, Howie Lavin, to mention a few names. They all played, and they were 1 game away from going to Williamsport. Vinny Jarvis was unhittable. And he couldn't play that game. He was sick. And it cost them. I think they lost like 1-0. And he could have easily have gone to Williamsport. Jay Chun, the right fielder, was the hitter. And he swings and misses for strike 3. Three strikeouts for Manny Rodriguez. Manny Soto, the extra hitter. In for a strike. But this is like the big rivalry, Eastland against Westland. It's also the big rivalry, the Red Sox against the Braves. When the Braves used to play it in Boston. It's the Eastland Braves against the Westland Red Sox. Looked like the umpire was just about to bring that right hand up, and he didn't. It went down and away. That one goes behind him and goes to the backstop. That was just a little bit inside. Slowly to second base. They got to hurry. They don't get him. They didn't bother to make the throw. It's just a slap towards second base, just very slowly hit. Soto gets a base hit. Mark Post, or Posty, got a base hit and scored the first run, the only run for Eastland to this point. In for a strike. 1-1 the count. Tries the bunt and it goes foul. First two games he played, he got a couple of nice bunt hits. Looking for another one. And that's strike 3 called. Juan Vasquez, the shortstop, will be the hitter. Juan Vasquez reached. So Amari Quintana was the hitter. He get hit by a pitch, is one trip. That one goes to the backstop. So he's looking for a little 2-out lightning. Second and third and 2 outs. They'd love to get the 2 runs in. On the inside corner for a strike. 2-1 the count. Took Quintana, Eastland first baseman. And that evens it up. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on for Eastland. Down the way, the count goes full. I thought the ball hit him. They're putting him back at third base. So it's a hit batsman. He get hit. Quintana got hit again. It was ball 4, but he got hit by the pitch. And that loads the bases. And Rodriguez, the pitcher, can help himself here get back in the game. In for a strike as he backed away from it. Base hit here would do wonders for East Lynn. Backs away again. It's 0-2. They throw it away at first base. 2 runs they're going to score. Hit foul. All of a sudden, East Lynn has the tying runs at second and third with 2 outs. It was a strikeout, a hit, and a strikeout. There were 2 outs. But then he hit 2 batters in a row. And now the error thrown away at first base. Prentice was the one that hit that line shot that the left fielder made a great play on. Took extra bases and a couple of RBI away from Prentice at the time. East Lynn would have taken the lead. Now he's got a chance if he gets a base hit to put East Lynn right back in the game. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's a big strikeout. So we finished 3. East Lynn creeps a little closer as they put 2 on the board thanks to a West Lynn error. It's now 5-3. West Lynn going into the 4th inning. 8, 9, and 10. For West Lynn, Joel Rosario, the third baseman, was called out on strikes his first trip. First 2 pitches miss. You see again, it's 3-0. That's ball 4. 6 walks given up by Rodriguez. 4 of them have scored. Aiden Nerez, the second baseman, drew one of those walks. In for a strike. That one goes to the backstop. Rosario scoots down to second base. High and tight for a ball. In for a strike. I can't go by the scoreboard. The scoreboard says 1-2 with 2 outs. I know there's not 2 outs. They've only had 1 hitter so far, and he's at second base. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Swing and a miss. Pella DeSea grounded out short to first. His 1 trip. Hit foul out of play. Quickly 0-2. Chase that pitch. It was down in the dirt. They tag him out, but the runner goes to third. Now, Yasiel Rodriguez got a lot of help on that pitch. That was down in the dirt. Rosario moves over to third. Adrian Peterson got a double sign, that big 3-run third inning. It gave West Lynn their big lead. He scored the first of 3 they got in that inning. They stopped by Prandis on a pitch in the dirt, keeps the runner at third. Peterson popped to first, his other at bat. Hit a long way down the right field line, foul. He got all of that one. He drilled that long and deep, but got way out in front of it, pulled it well, foul. This is a very big hitter for both teams with the runner at third. Eastland would like to get out of this. Westland would like to get another run. Popped up. Foul. Down the left field line. Behind the third baseman, in front of the left fielder, but it was outside the line. So we got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Westland leading by 2. That one goes to the backstop. The runner's going to score easily. No, he doesn't. Great hustle by Prandis. Gets it to Rodriguez. They throw the runner out at the plate. I thought he was going to score easily. It bounced off the backstop, didn't come back. That's a huge out. So they don't score the run. We're moving to the bottom of the 4th. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for East Lynn. Five to 3 the score. That big 3-run third inning, and the big 2-out, 2 RBI single by Anthony LaCava. The difference in the game. is kind of different. We have the base umpire warming up the pitcher. That's why a long time I've stopped saying I've seen it all. Every time I say that, something else happens. I've seen so much over so many years. Now I just watched the base umpire catching the warm-up tosses by the pitcher. I've never seen that before. I'm not sure it's ever happened before. Blake Beaupre was called on strikes his one trip. He'll look to get something going for East Lynn in the bottom of the fourth inning. We're halfway through the game. A little more than halfway through. West Lynn leading 5-3. Hit foul out of play. Manny Rodriguez kind of pitches from a lot of pitchers doing this now. Pitching from the stretch. Hit foul again. Low for a ball. I hope you can see it on your screen. I hope you're being entertained by all the flying. I don't know if they're butterflies or what they are, but they're flying all over the outfield. So we start with a strikeout. Six strikeouts for Manny Rodriguez. Danny Chow, the third baseman, struck out swinging. That went over his head. He had to duck, almost kneel down to get out of the way from being hit with that pitch. Hit off the third baseman's glove. Solid shot by Chow. This one, you get it or you don't. So Chow gets a base hit, solidly hit. And that allows East Lynn to bring the tying run to home plate. Sultan Akani'i, the left fielder, bounced to the pitcher. His one trip. Hit fouled on the right side. Pitched that pitch. Two quick strikes. And that's strike three. So a strikeout, a hit, and a strikeout. Makes it 2 outs and a runner at first for Charlie Chow, who popped up to the first baseman. Down the way for a ball. Chopped over the pitcher's head. They dropped the ball at second base. They had him, but they dropped the ball. They made the right play. They tagged the runner, but then they dropped the ball. So Chow reaches on the error. at second base, and Charlie Chan reaches at first, so the tying runs are on base for Jay Chun. The right fielder for East Lynn. Two pitches down and away, 2-0. Not a very big strike zone. Swing and a miss. Count goes 2-1. Now the count goes 2-2. They tag him out. Oh, we gotta. They're putting the runner back a second. I think they're saying the ball was fouled at home plate. The runner going to third, Danny Chow, thought the ball got thrown to left field. He took off like he was going to try and score, and then couldn't get back. He got tagged. Would have been out, but they called it a foul ball. And scoreboard now says it's 3-2. So a very big pitch coming up for both teams. And it's in for strike three, so he strikes the side out. The hit and the error doesn't hurt. So we finished 4 in this Lynn City Little League Championship tournament. 5-3, West Lynn over East Lynn. Top of the order, Aiden Peterson popped to the first baseman, but last time up he ripped a double down the right field line, and he got that big 3-run inning going. That's the difference in the game right now for West Lynn. He doubled and scored the first of 3. We have a new pitcher. Charlie Chan is the new pitcher. Rodriguez, the pitcher, goes to third. And third baseman Chow goes to center field. So I mentioned is Peterson leading off. In for a strike. Hit foul, the count evens at 2. So Rodriguez went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, 5 runs, 2 of them unearned. Struck out 6, walked 6. Chased that high pitch and swung right through it for strike 3. 6 walks and 4 of them scored. Devon Bercy scored the second run. That big 3 inning, he drew a walk, one of back-to-back walks and both of them scored in the inning. The big rip in that inning was the 2-out, 2 RBI single by Anthony LaCava, and that's the difference in the game right now. Missing for ball 3. In for a strike. As you would expect, Percy taking all the way with the count 3-0. Foul behind home plate. The count goes 3-2. Chan trying to come all the way back after being behind 3-0. Big payoff pitch up and coming. And it's ball 4. Second time Bercy's walked. Manny Rodriguez, the pitcher, has singled and scored, walked and scored. So he's 1 for 1 with 2 runs scored. And he's done a pretty good job on the mound. Nice stop by Prandis on the pitch in the dirt. Does a nice job behind the plate. Yansel Prandis. Missing wide for a ball. High and tight for a ball. 3-0. Percy and Rodriguez walked back-to-back in the 3rd inning and both came around to score. Now they're on the verge of walking back-to-back again. And they do. So after a strikeout, back-to-back walks. 8 walks given up by Eastland pitching have hurt them badly. And it brings a trip out to the mound. To talk to Charlie Chan. Not a very big figure out in the mound. High and tight for a ball. So Chan started with a big strikeout, but he's walked 2 in a row. That one goes to the backstop on the fly. And the runners move up. So Westland looking to add to that 5-3 lead. Here in the top of the fifth. Hit in here is going to drop for a base hit. Just kind of died behind the shortstop third baseman in front of the left fielder. Kirk gets the base hit. Bercy scores his second run. The pitcher Rodriguez scoots over to third. Kirk winds up at second. So it's second and third with a run in. It's now 6-3. Elian Rodriguez. Ball goes to the backstop, but the runner doesn't go. Good hustle by Prandis to get to it quickly. Rodriguez got an RBI. He hit a shot. Looked like it was going into right field. Quintana made a very nice play, knocking it down, getting the play at first, but the run scored. And that was just before LaCava got his big 2-out single. And before they scored this run here to make it 6-3, LaCava's hit was the difference in the game. Swing and a miss. High for a ball. Evens the count at 2. In for strike 3, good pitch. So the 2 outs of the inning have been strikeouts. Unfortunately, the 2 walks and another walk scores. 8 walks and 5 of them have scored. Anthony LaCava was the difference in the game coming into this inning. His 2-out, 2 RBI single knocked in the runs at the time to make it 5-1. Eastland came back and made it 5-3. Now he's got a chance to do more damage. Second and third again. Can he do it again with 2 outs? Swing and a miss way out in front of that pitch. Oh, 2 the count. High for a ball. Rodriguez, the pitcher, has been causing problems at third base. He keeps getting off the base every pitch, getting a good-sized lead, faking like he's going to score. They caused problems before when they threw the ball back to the pitcher. It cost him a run. Hit foul back and out of play. So runner took off from second. And it was Rodriguez that did it. Knocked down. Safe. They couldn't make the play at first base. Vasquez did a nice job going to get it, but he threw it wide. So LaCava puts it in play, the error. Scores 2. Another 3-run inning, helped out by this big error. of a sudden it's 8-3. Rivera has been called on strikes twice. Pops it up. Third baseman, shortstop almost come together. Rodriguez, the pitcher, now playing third, makes the play. So Westland is down the fifth, but they put a lot of breathing room between them and East Lynn's. They put 3 more on the board. The second 3-run inning. And LaCava gets involved again. This time the ground ball. Vasquez made a great play going to his left, picked it. The throw was off the mark. LaCava was safe, and runners from second and third both scored. So they got the 3 runs with 1 base hit. Again, 2 walks score. Eight walks given up by Eastland pitching, 5 of them scored. It'll be 11-1-2 for Eastland. And they need a huge inning to get back in this one. Again, I hope cooler heads prevail. I hope they have second thoughts, and I hope Wyoming gets back in this Lynn City series next year, and don't deprive the kids of having a great time and possibly a great memory if they could win the tournament. Anybody that wins it is going to remember it. Coaches, players, parents. It's a big time in the life of these kids. Don't get this chance very often. Most other cities and towns don't do this because they don't have more than 1 league. Manny Soto gets his second hit, leading off the 5th inning. It'll be the top of the order. Mark Posty, the second baseman, has singled and scored, was called out on strikes. Again, Rodriguez pitching from the stretch, in for a strike. Popped up to the second baseman. He almost got a double play. The runner at first was off and running. Second baseman Perez couldn't get out of his glove, or they might have had a double play. So 1 away with a runner at first. Juan Vasquez walked and was thrown on second when he tried to continue on to second base. Last time up, he got hit by a pitch and scored a run. Soto scoots over to second as the ball goes to the backstop. In for a strike. 1-1 the count. Solid shot to center field, off the center fielder's glove. Soto only got to second base because he didn't know whether the ball was going to be caught or not. Vasquez reaches on the error. The ball was there. He had it and just dropped it out in the outfield. And now we're going to get a new pitcher. Posey is going to go play first base. That's a big target to throw to. LaCava is going to be the new pitcher. So a hit and error. Sandwiched in between a pop-up. So 1 out, 2 on for Amari Quintana, who hasn't been up officially. He's been on base twice. He get hit twice. So LaCava will take his warm-up and we'll get back to baseball. Quintana will hit against LaCava. 2 on, 1 out for East Lynn. They need a bundle. That one bounces, the runners will move up. So second and third with 1 out. And that one goes to the backstop. The runner hesitated. He gets tagged out. He went halfway, stopped, and then picked up again. And Peterson tagged him out. So now there's 2 outs with a runner at third. It went to the backstop. The runner went 3/4 of the way and stopped, and then decided I better keep going. And he almost did it again. From out here, it looks like there's a fence totally behind it, and it would stop the ball and just delay it, but it's not. It's the press box, and it's solid, and it bounces almost back to the catcher. So it's hard to score from third base. And they're finding that out, as they've had a couple thrown out. High and tight for ball 4. Quintana's on for the third time. So it would have been bases loaded and 1 out. Instead, it's first and third with 2 outs. Sale Rodriguez was the pitcher. He's now the third baseman. He's walked and reached on an error. The error was he popped it right out in front of home plate, and the ball got thrown away at first base, and that scored the 2 runs at the time and made it 5-3 with the tying runs at second and third, but a big strikeout by Rodriguez got him out of the inning. That one hit the backstop on the fly. And they almost threw Quintana out at second base. He leveled the shortstop. The ball came right back to Prandas, and they almost threw Quintana out at second base. In for a strike. That one hit him. That's the 4th hit batsman. 2 of them were Quintana. And we got another trip out to the mound. They gave Eastland a run this inning. I don't know where they got it. Nobody has scored. They threw the runner out at the plate. Elian Rodriguez will be the new pitcher. So I still have it 8-3. Scoreboard has it 8-4. I don't know where they got that run. There's 2 outs, 2 on, and Prandis is the 5th hitter in the inning. So I know they didn't score. Hits it solidly to left field foul. Got way out in front of it. First time up, he hit a shot with second and third. Trailing 2-1. He hit a shot down the left field line. And Micaiah Kirk made a tremendous play going to his right, reaching across his body, picking it and rolling it along the dirt, along the grass, taking extra bases and a couple of RBI away. And it would have given East Lynn the lead. Nice stop by Peterson behind the plate. In for a strike. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. These two teams are right down to the wire, and Westland only had 8 players. They beat them by a run scoring in the last inning. Quintana didn't go. Good thing he didn't. Again, the ball came right back to Prandis. Peterson. He was lined up ready to make the throw. Hit foul down the third baseline. Call, third strike. So West Lynn, 3 outs away from being crowned the 2023 state champion. They lead it 8-3 going into the 6th inning. 8, 9, and 10 for West Lynn as we start the 6th inning. Joel Rosario has struck out and walked. That one bounces in as Charlie Chan starts another inning for East Lynn. In for a strike. Kind of steered that one, bounced it, and 2-1. It's ball 4. Nine walks given up by Eastland pitching. Aiden Nerez, the second baseman, walked and struck out Sweeney. High and tight for a ball. Down and away for a ball. He throws it down to first base. Scooting back is Rosario. In for a strike. Down and away for a ball. So back-to-back walks in third, they both scored. Back-to-back walks in the fifth, they both scored. He's on the verge of back-to-back walks here in the sixth. So back-to-back. First and second, nobody out. Pel Desai, or Desai. If I say it both ways, maybe I'll get it right once. Is grounded out to short, struck out Sweeney. Missing for ball one. Missing for ball two. Hit the second. They tagged the runner going to second base. Nice job by Posty. So one away with first and third for Aiden Peterson. And they walk him. So for the third time in 6 innings, Westland have the bases loaded. Devon Bercy grounded a second, walked his last 2 times, and scored his last 2 times. Down and away for a ball. In for a strike. Pop foul over the Westland dugout, out of play. Count goes 1-2. That sun is going down. It's got very nice cool as opposed to the 100-degree weather we've been having. Called third strike. Nice pitch. So 2 away. Manny Rodriguez, the pitcher, singled, walked, scored all 3 times. So he's 1 for 1 with 3 runs scored, and he's done a very nice job on the mound. High for a ball. to the backstop. Nobody's going anywhere. 2-0 the count. In for a strike. Missed for ball 3, 3-1. Misses for ball 4. On for the third time, the third walk. He gets an RBI as the run walks home. Base is still loaded. Trip out to the mound. I think we're going to get a new pitcher. Jay Chon is the new pitcher. He comes in with the bases loaded and 2 outs. They haven't put the ball in play yet in this inning, and they scored a run. 4 walks. There was 1 ball put in play, a tag out by the second baseman. But there are 4 walks. 11 walks given up by East Lynn. 5 of them have scored, and 1 has forced in a run. So 6 of their 9 have been helped out by walks. Hit foul past first base. McKay Kirk walked and scored, struck out, singled and scored, and made that outstanding play in the outfield. And I'm looking. Did they pick up another player along the way? They get the force at second. So we get the 1 run without a hit. And I thought it looked like that was a number 9. It was a number 9 that hit the ball, but West Lynn doesn't have a number 9. So they must have had a player somewhere along the line show up and be added to the batting order. So West Lynn needs 3 outs to collect the hardware and be the 2023 Lynn City Little League champion. They lead at 9-3. The board says 4, but they only have 3 runs. Elian Rodriguez will be the new pitcher. So Manny Rodriguez goes 5, gives up 4 hits. Struck out 7, walked a couple, hit 4. Quintana was 2 of those hit batsmen. And again, Westland has a number 9 in the outfield, and they didn't give me a number 9 in their lineup. So I don't know if he showed up late and he added him and didn't tell me. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for East Lynn facing Elian Rodriguez. So Manny Rodriguez went the first 5. I don't know if they're related. Manny Rodriguez and now Elian Rodriguez. In for a strike. Blake Beaupre has struck out twice, both times called. That was against the other Rodriguez, Manny. He's now hitting against Elian. The lights come on here at Barry Park because the sun has gone away. It's been cool and Beaupre draws a walk. Danny Chow struck out and singled. Hit fair, it gets bobbled. I don't think they could have thrown it. I'm going to give him a base hit. That was a tough play. Right at the third base bag. That would have been a long throw across the diamond to try and get him. So it's first and second with nobody out. But Sultan Akanihi. Runners started to go. Peterson got to it quickly, and he hustled back. They almost threw them out. He has bounced to the pitcher and struck out swinging. Hits it right through the wickets at first base. Right through the wickets. So the bases are loaded with nobody out for Charlie Chan, who's popped to the pitcher and reached on an error. So a walk, a hit, and an error. They hit the trifecta over the head of Chan. They need a couple more to get on base to bring the tying run to home plate. Goes to the backstop. No, nobody's going to go anywhere because they don't need 1 run. They need 6. Missing wide for a ball. 3-0. Peasing out to talk to his pitcher, trying to slow him down, calm him down. Chan will be taking a good long look at this pitch with the count 3-0. In for a strike. And it's ball 4. They put the run up on the board for 5, but I only have 4. I don't know where they got that other run. Now they bring in number 9 to pitch. So we found out they gave me the wrong number. It's Mackay Kirk, who was the left fielder through the whole game. He number 9. They listed him as number 4. When I looked and saw who's number 9, they didn't have one. That one goes to the backstop. This is Jae Chun. High and tight for a ball. So all of a sudden it's getting nitty gritty. They put the run up on the board. They got it 9-5. I don't know where that other run came from. In for a strike. I must be the worst scorekeeper in the world. I had them with 3 runs coming into this inning, and they got 1. Goes to the backstop. Nobody's going anywhere because they don't need 1 run. But it's 3-1. In for a strike, 3-2. Kirk can bring it. He's got some mustard on his pitch. Big payoff pitch. And it's ball 4. It was walks that hurt East Lynn all of a sudden now. 3 walks in the inning. A hit and an error. And according to the scoreboard, East Lynn has the go-ahead run at the plate. That's a very late swing by Manny Soto. Got a piece and fouled it off. He's got 2 base hits and scored a run. And that was strike 3. In for a strike. Mark Posty has singled and scored, struck out, popped to second base. Hit in a right field for a base hit. Everybody moves up a base. Posty's got a hit and an RBI. All of a sudden, looking at the scoreboard, East Lynn has the tying runs in scoring position for Juan Vasquez. Hits it in the air. It's going to drop for a base hit. 2 runs they're going to score. And they're saying it's tied up at 9, and I don't know how, but they're official, so I have to go by them. 9-9 with 1 out and runners at second and third for East Lynn. So it looked like a cakewalk coming into this inning. Safe at the plate. And that wins the game in the bottom of the 6th. They get 6, and East Lynn comes from behind. They were down 9-4. They got 2 hits in the inning. 3 walks, a big error, and they extend the tournament. They avenge the loss to West Lynn, and they keep their tournament hopes alive. They get to play 1 more game. They'll be back here on Tuesday to finish up this tournament, and it'll be West Lynn and East Lynn playing for the state championship. In the first inning, West Lynn got 2. Manny Rodriguez singled after Kirk walked. Rodriguez waited for the ball to come back to the mound. He took off, went to third. They threw it by the third baseman. He scored. Kirk came around to score also in that inning, made it 2-1, 2-0. East Lynn got a run in the first. Posty singled, went to second, a wild pitch, stole third. Quintana got hit by a pitch, and Posty scored when they threw the runner out at second base. Vasquez, who walked, tried to go to second base, and they threw him on a second, and Posty was able to score, made it 2-1. West Lynn got 3 in the third inning. A double by Peterson, back-to-back walks. A ground out by Rodriguez brought in 1. A big 2-out hit by LaCava made it 5-1. East Lynn got 2 in the third. Soto led with a base hit. Vasquez and Quintana both got hit by a pitch. And Era, throwaway at first base, scored 2 runs to make it 5-3. 3 more runs in the 5th for West Lynn. Back-to-back walks again. A base hit by Kirk, scored a run. An infield error, scored 2 more. It was 8. They got a run in the 6th on 4 walks to make it 9. And then in the last inning, I had it 9-3. The board had it 9-4. They are official. I missed a run someplace. But in the last inning, Beaupre walked. Chow got a base hit. Anini got reached on an error. Chow walked to force in a run. Chan walked to force in a run. Chon walked to force in a run. Posty got a base hit for an RBI. And then Vasquez popped a base hit for an RBI, 2 RBI. And then a wild pitch brought the final run in. And East Lynn comes back from a 9-3 deficit with a big bottom of the 6th inning, and they win it by a score of 10-9 to extend the City Series Little League City Championship tournament to one more winner take all. They'll have a day off. They'll come back on Tuesday at 5:30. It will be West Lynn against East Lynn for all the marbles. The winner will take home the trophy. But right now, East Lynn is celebrating a huge win, coming from with a huge 6th inning. Looked like they were totally out of it. They come back, they fight, they only got a couple of hits in the inning, but walks and a big error help them to get 6 runs in the inning, and they win it by a score of 10-9, and they have a pulse. They stay alive, give West Lynn their first lead. They avenged the loss to West Lynn originally, so both teams will be 2-1 going into Tuesday and playing for all the marbles, looking to win the state championship. So 10-9, East Lynn over West Lynn. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm Don Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.